Let's move on to our last topic of concern, but certainly not our least, and that is, what are the issues related to being a caregiver or to caregiving? In the moderate stage, as we said, this becomes a 24/7 job. It can be exhausting, trying to keep up with all the household-related tasks, taking care of someone, trying to deal with behavioral issues if those are going on, trying to get a good night's sleep when your person isn't sleeping well, trying to maintain your energy and eat well even when your person's food preferences have changed. It's easy to become socially isolated. People will often report that friends kind of fall off as time goes by, and certainly there's a certain amount of this that we can expect as people age. People move back to be closer to their family. They have their own health and physical issues, or they're serving as care providers for someone in their own family. So it's easy to become isolated. Family dynamics can be part of a solution, but they can also be part of the problem. So I don't believe mom has a problem, and so I'm not going to pitch in my share. I think that you should know exactly what it is I need, so I'm going to sit and wait for you to offer help rather than me learn to say, here's what I need. So whatever dynamics were going on within the family before certainly may not be better, and that can make caregiving additionally stressful. I mentioned earlier that we worry about the caregiver's health and emotional well-being as much as we do about the person with dementia. The caregivers, are at significant risk for deterioration of your own health, physical, and emotional needs. Again, none of this is in a vacuum, so health issues can arise just by virtue of aging. And we've had numbers of caregivers who have developed cancer or had strokes and had to try and accelerate their plans for their loved one because of that. I think the biggest concern that caregivers often express is there's so much to do. I just have so much, there's not enough time in the course of the day. You have family members on the side who are serving as cheerleaders, feeling free to offer their comments on what should or shouldn't be done, or to comment on how you are or aren't doing your job. You have professionals in their best intention who say, we want you to take care of yourself, and how am I going to do all of that? There's just not enough time in the day. I'm one person and I'm human. So when we look at caregiver issues and caregiver concerns, we know, and as I mentioned earlier, that sharing the care makes a big difference. Barriers to this can come from your own reluctance, from a sense of pride or guilt, stoicism, a sense of promises made. I'll never ever place you. I'll never let anybody else come into the house. You can have your own standards of perfectionism. I'm the only one who can do this. Isolation, not having any other family or friends in the area. All of these are barriers to getting additional help and letting you have some breaks. One of the barriers too can be that there are a great sense of sort of what we call urban legends or myths about financial concerns. Oh, if I sign up for All-Tex, they're going to take my house away from me, rather than getting the information and hearing what it is that you need to do and how you qualify and how you're protected as a spouse. The system can make it hard even to get the money that you might be eligible for. Can take months and a lot of perseverance, filling out forms, making sure that you're getting them in on a timely fashion, following up, having interviews with caseworkers who come out who may or may not understand why your person needs support. We talked earlier, family dynamics can be part of the equation, right? Sometimes if we are specific in our communication, I need to go get my hair done on Saturday, so if you could come be with Dad from 12 to 2 is a very specific communication. That may allow other family members to come in and have their own way of interacting with and affecting a loved one's quality of life. On the other hand, some family can be terribly disruptive, and sometimes we have to kind of draw boundaries that this person is not a good one to have around. So basically, if we can get to a point of sharing the care, however we're going to do that, whatever model we can do or incorporate into the daily routine, that's what's going to allow you to take care of yourself. So our options that we look at in terms of extending the care, it's always easiest to look at what's the volunteer network. Let's start at the core. What have we got in terms of family? Maybe friends or neighbors, maybe faith community if you belong to a faith community, because that's a big source of mission and you can target people, come in for Bible studies or help with transportation or bring home communion services in, any number of ways that way. Then we look at our outside agencies, so looking at adult day health programs or daycare programs that can create activities and socialization opportunities for the person with dementia. And when you get that on board with a regular, predictable routine, it allows you to then schedule time for yourself, whether you go off and just get your hair done, whether you reestablish contacts with friends or with family and just have lunch while your person is at a program. Using home care agencies, we use these initially for friendly visitors or companion care. They can help with transportation, bring in activities, socialization, can help you even with some of what we call that honey-do list. You know, I need help with cooking. I'm not a good cook. I don't like my cooking, and she certainly doesn't like my cooking. So I'm going to have our home care person make some meals that we just have to warm up, for instance. Same with helping with simple chores and tasks around the house or shopping. As time moves on through the moderate stage and they need help with personal care, we may need to move to medical home care agencies where they have CNAs who have been trained on how to bathe, how to dress, how to help toilet someone. And then our other options are to use alternative residences. So this is the assisted living or dementia care facilities. And our last community resource then towards end of life, advanced stage Alzheimer's disease, becomes hospice, that time when they really are homebound, when they are fully dependent for all care, when they're maybe no longer talking or walking and they're experiencing that weight loss. This is when we want to have the very vital support that you get from hospice in terms of emotional support, in terms of helping you transition to that end of life, and how do I keep my goals moving forward in terms of comfort and keeping them safe. So the reality is it does take a village to help take care of someone with Alzheimer's disease. You have a very critical team around you, from family and friends on to your medical support network to the various agencies that are available to you. And an important part is that you help spread the word, that you teach where you can, that you advocate for your person, and that we also do our job in terms of getting out there and helping these people make sure that their staff are well trained, that there's good dementia knowledge within the community.